Hey YouTube, this is the Homestead Prepper, and this video is for information purposes only, and if you try to construct one of these yourself, I would only do it under the direct supervision of a licensed structural and mechanical engineer. But you're probably wondering what it is, and what it is I've made a pole lifter here for this barn that we've made. We're at an undisclosed location, and this is made out of mostly just scrap materials that I found in a dumpster with. I got permission. I got these metal 2x6s, and I reinforced them by putting yellow pine on the inside of them and bolting them, and that railroad crossing arm has got some yellow pine 2x6s in it too. And if you look, I've got it reinforced right there, and that's where the force is going to be. It's going to bow right in the center, and I've got this thing right here to keep it from reacting, so it can react through the floor and it will stay steady. And I had to buy, like I said, a couple of these 2x6s, and the angle iron, I had some of that on hand from another job. Now I did have to pay for the bolts, and the bolts cost, believe it or not, over $100 for the bolts, the nuts, the washers, and the lock washers, and the lag screws. Man, that stuff is expensive. I asked the guy, I said, it's all made in China, why does it cost so much? And he couldn't answer me. But let me just show you a little of our barn. It's 16 by 24, and we're using 6x6 pressure treated posts. And the hardest thing to do is to get this thing square. And what we've done, this is a corner post. We measured from there to that corner post over there 27 feet 6 inches inside to inside. And then we measured from that corner post over there to this one, and it came out exactly 27 feet 6 inches. So that tells me
that's a lot of work.
yeah, with a lot of work. And we're going down about,
it tells you it's square.
yeah, that's how you determine something square, if your diagonals equal the same. If they don't equal the same, it's not square. Those are my post hole diggers. They say necessity is the mother of all invention. This and this right here. I'm going down about 6 feet. I'm sinking the holes, and I'm putting about 1 foot of concrete down there as a footer. And I made some extensions here because I was having to reach down in the hole to dig it out, and that just made it a lot easier. And if you look, I'm using, of course, a pulley system here, and this is just a 2-to-1. That pulley does nothing up there except redirect the force. This one cuts the force in half. So whatever this pole weighs, I'm only pulling up half to get it up, and then once it does, it gets it up in the air, and then we can back it up with the trailer and move it right over that hole. And you've probably noticed some camping stuff that we have here, and that's because we are camping out. And this is Nate, and I don't know where my other dog is, but instead of putting them up in a kennel, which costs about $44 a night, and instead of renting using a motel room, which costs about $75 a night in this area for something halfway decent, we have used this as our camper. And we had a friend offer to let us use their camper, but we couldn't pull this trailer and the camper all at the same time. So we, you know, if you're in a bug out situation, this a vehicle, you can sleep in that. If it gets cold, you can turn on the heat. And I want to show you what my wife made over here. Y'all have probably got an idea what this is. If she'll get over here, I'll let her explain it to you. What did you use to make that ring right there?
It's a hula hoop.
You have to get a little closer.
A hula hoop. And I use these clamps here that are regular, you know, drapery clamps, but they're cheap, and they can be split apart and snapped over the hula hoop, and then put back together. And I hooked it onto the top of a plastic tablecloth. I think it's like 60 by 120 inches, and that was enough. And then use this plastic garbage can here.
You want to show them the inside of it?
Not really.
Okay. All right, no, we don't want to see that.
And put a plastic kitchen garbage can liner in there, and then we put some pine shavings, and it didn't take very much pine shavings, and there is no odor at all with this thing. There's no odor.
Yeah, it was only a couple dollars.
Yeah, and we plan to improve on this. We're going to build a box to go around the bucket, and it'd be a little more comfortable. We got a cheap toilet seat, and we took the lid of it off because the lid kept wanting to flop back. But you set the lid down on top of the bucket, and then that makes it a lot more comfortable. But use paracord up here at the top to tie it to the tree. You got a little bit of camouflage with the limbs coming down, and works pretty good.
And we've saved about how much money over the past couple days?
Oh gosh, I don't know, probably at least $800, $500.
Probably around $500 just for room and board for the puppies and for ourselves. So that's money we're putting into our barn.
I miss my showers.
Yeah, we've been having to do without, but that's what prepping. That's what prepping is.
We're going home today.
You do without to get what you want. So we just want to show that to you. All right, well, we're going to try and show you it being lifted up in the air.
Like a boat cleat.
Yeah, you wrap it a couple times like that, and then that's how you do a boat cleat. And for those of you who are wondering why we didn't use a tractor, it would have costed a fortune to get that thing up here because it weighs about 12,000 pounds, and I don't have a trailer or a truck to pull it. All right, and all you do now is you just back the trailer up over that hole right over there. And it'll be a done deal. Alright, I just wanted to show y'all we backed the trailer up, and we got this pole, and we've got it right there. And what we do is put that board, she's showing you that board right there, to guide it down like that.
So it doesn't scrape all the dirt along the side.
Exactly, it doesn't raise it up. And then what I do is I try to guide it, and what she does is she undoes this, and then she can use this one wrap around there. It gives her the leverage where she can just barely hold it, and she doesn't have to hold the whole weight of the thing, and it just lets it down so easy, and it's so nice. Anyway, just want to show you all that. Homestead Prepper out. All right, I just want to show you all the completion of stage 1 of our barn. And a couple things we want to talk about here is, if you do a project like this, you want to always be safe. Take your time, think about what you're doing, and because you really can't afford to have an accident. It's not worth it trying to rush or horseplay or do things like that. Just think about what you're doing. Problems always arise, and you can overcome them.
Try to predict what might happen as a result of what you're doing. And things will go wrong, and when they do, just keep a cool head, because if you don't, you get all hot-headed and everything, then it just domino effect. And things just keep going wrong and keep going wrong, because then you don't have your mind clear.
Well, that is true. And we use this little post beam level thing right here. It worked really good, and we were able to get everything dead on it. So, and of course, if you want perfection, you're not going to get it in this world, because you're dealing with the materials that are imperfect, and I don't care how straight you get these posts, they can twist, they can turn. They may saw them straight at the factory, and then they'll curve and they'll bow on you. So oh, and also we had an episode here where we were doing this, and one of the strings was popped out because we didn't have it set on there right. We lined the post up, and we had to go back and reline them. So always make sure that the string is not popped out from the side.
It just barely touches, the string just barely touches the side, and check down the line to make sure it's not pushing, it's not touching it so much that it's pulling it off of the other ones that you've already set. And take the string around the corner for each side, because that gives you the tautest fit.
Yeah, and it'll save you a lot of grief. And another word over here, we saved a lot of money camping out, and when we camp out, we only camp out with the best, and we got some homemade vegetable soup that we lived off while we're here. So anyway, this is the Homestead Prepper and
Mrs. Homestead Prepper
out.